Good morning, everyone, and welcome in. Welcome back to my stream. My name is Doña, aka Doña the Light, and we're back. I'm back with another daily video podcast episode. Today, we're going to be talking about gaslighting. We're going to talk about what it is, how to recognize it, and how to heal from it. First and foremost, if you're catching this live stream on Twitch, thank you for being here. Please feel free to contribute in the chat. These will always be community conversations, and if you're here, then I definitely want to hear what you have to say. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post these daily mental health chats daily. Yeah, it's almost been 2 months. I'm going on 2 months of me creating these videos every day. But if you are new here and this is your first time here, this is going to play like a podcast. So no need to visually watch what's on the screen. Well, a little bit today because I'll be showing something from the internet, but I'll be reading it, so it's all good. Also, shameless plug, if you'd like to support me, I have an Etsy shop. I will leave the shop link here in my, what's it called? What is this? Bless you, my Twitch stream. And here is my Etsy shop. Here are the items that I currently have for purchase. I've got 1 tee, 4 hoodies, 2 mugs, and a long sleeve crop top shirt, which is probably my favorite. I just ordered this tee. I'm really looking forward to it showing up. It says, I do the work to experience moments of healing bliss. I literally just made it just so I could buy it. So if you're looking for ways to support myself and the channel, please feel free to peruse and browse through my Etsy shop. Everything here is only going to be available until January 31st, and then I'll be creating new merch. Oh, Raylene is here. Welcome in. Perch that merch. I'm gonna need y'all to do that. What's up, Woozy? Welcome into the chat. All right, friends. So again, today we're going to be discussing gaslighting, and Kairu is with this conversation apparently. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up this article that I found from, I already forgot the website. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up on my phone so that if y'all drop things in the comments. So gaslighting is one of those terms that has become very, very popular with the recent rise in mental health awareness, which has been wonderful. But I want to make sure that when we're having a discussion about this topic that we are aware of what it means, what it looks like, what it doesn't look like, and most importantly, how to heal from it. Because it's all fine and dandy to recognize something and to know it exists, but if you don't know how to heal from it, you're kind of doomed. Oh my goodness, my husband's in the chat. He's behind me. He better be in the chat. Anyways, love you, babe. All right. Gotta keep things away from this baby. He's got a super long reach. All right, so let me pull this back up. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me move it. It's a little small, but if you're interested in reading this article, I'll drop the link in the chat. It's from a website called Medical News Today. And also, excuse my sniffling. If I catch myself before I sneeze, I will definitely mute my microphone. All right, so this website's article titled, What is Gaslighting? I mean, very simply stated, medically reviewed by Vera Saripali, Saidi, and by Jennifer Huizen, updated July 13th, 2022. So gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse in which a person or group causes someone to question their own sanity, memories, or perception of reality. People who experience gaslighting may feel confused, anxious, or as though they cannot trust themselves. Woo! All right. So the term gaslighting comes from the name of a play. Interesting. A 1938 play and a 1944 film, Gaslight. Oh, in which a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she has a mental illness. That's very interesting. I had no idea. In this article, we look at gaslighting, including common examples, signs, and causes. We also discuss how a person can respond to this behavior and how to seek help. Raylene says, this week has been insane for self-realization. Literally every day I notice something new and learn about something I had wrongly named. I feel that. You know what, Raylene? I feel that and I appreciate that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being down to learn and being open to learn, because we really have to remember that we should all be lifelong learners. You know, we should all just be open to get curious about things and question things and all of that. So I'm very proud of you, Raylene. Again, excuse my sniffling. So examples of gaslighting. According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, gaslighting can happen in a variety of ways. Some examples include, now, again, some examples. These are not, this isn't, what is it called? Like not extensive list. Like the only examples of gaslighting, but these are probably the most common. So one is countering, which is when someone questions a person's memory. They may say things such as, "Are you sure about that? You have a bad memory." Or, "I think you're forgetting what really happened." Another example is withholding. This involves someone pretending they do not understand the conversation or refusing to listen to make a person doubt themselves. For example, they might say, "Now you're just confusing me," or "I don't know what you're talking about." Trivializing. This occurs when a person belittles or disregards how someone feels. They may accuse them of being too sensitive or overacting in response to valid and reasonable concerns. And this is something that I definitely have a lot of experience with in regards to the way that my mom, and just other people, but a lot of times my mom, would respond to me expressing myself, being too sensitive, or, try and get me to believe that I am overreacting about something when in reality I am not. Alright, just one second, I gotta blow my nose. Alright, we back. Oopsie. So denial involves a person refusing to take responsibility for their actions. They may do this by pretending to forget what happened, saying they did not do it, or blaming their behavior on someone else. Diverting. With this technique, a person changes the focus of a discussion by questioning the other person's credibility. For example, they might say, "That's just nonsense. You read that on the internet and it's not real." Stereotyping. Ooh, this one's rough. This one, yes. So an article in the American Sociological Review says that a person may intentionally use negative stereotypes about someone's gender, race, ethnicity, sexuality, nationality, or age to gaslight them. For example, they may say that no one will believe a woman if she reports abuse. Kyler Crocodile says, "That's amazing. The last week has been crazy for me in terms of realization too." And then Merkless says, "Stopping through to show some love. Hope you're having a blessed stream." Thank you, Merkless. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. And if you are interested in supporting my channel in any other way, feel free to check out my merch on my Etsy shop and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Okay, so how gaslighting works. It's a method of gaining control over someone else. It works by breaking down a person's trust in themselves while increasing how much they trust or depend on the abusive person. In relationships, it often happens gradually. The abusive person gains their partner's trust, sometimes with an initial quote-unquote honeymoon period in which there is no abusive behavior. And then the person begins suggesting that their partner is not reliable, that they're forgetful, or that they're mentally unstable. Now, I want y'all to kind of, I'm going to pause here for, Raylene says something in the chat. I'm going to pause here for just a moment. Raylene says, "Gaslighting is so terrible. I can't trust my own judgment anymore. My grandparents asked what I'm free to today, and I was like, I really don't want that, but I feel like that is the right decision." I was like, let me wait until Doña streams. And I caught myself thinking like that. Now I don't know what to do with this information. Wait, free to call. When I'm free to call today. Okay, but you don't really want to talk to them? Is that what you're saying, Randy? Because that's totally okay. But in regards to that section of the article, just that portion saying that the relationship begins with a honeymoon period in which there is no abuse. I want y'all to just think about the amount of mental capacity it takes to do all of the things that you know you want, that your partner's going to want you to do in a relationship, to show up the way that they want you to show up, to respond in ways that make them feel safe, heard, comforted, etc. Relate says, yes, but I've never said no to them, so they will be extremely concerned. Well, extremely concerned. Concerned because they're not used to you saying no, or concerned because they have a genuine care and interest in your health and well-being? Because if it's a genuine care, excuse my sniffling, they should be able to just accept you saying, you know, you have something to do. Genuine interest. Okay. In a situation like that, if the interest is genuine, I feel that. I feel that. I would give them a reason, but I wouldn't go into super deep detail. Perhaps just tell them that you have a lot on your plate today, you're mentally overwhelmed. Well, don't say that. Maybe they'll take that elsewhere. I don't know. I mean, maybe let them know that you've had a rough week and you just want some time to yourself. You know, or you had a long week, or, you know, you got some things that you want to do today and you're not sure if you'll have time or you won't have time. Something along those lines. Is it something that y'all do? Sir. Like, do they call you every single week? Or, you know what I mean? Is this a regular thing for them? I ended up saying to call them later. Okay. Well, you got a little bit of time, because it's about 3:30. She calls me every 2 weeks, roughly. Okay. I mean, just because your schedule is open doesn't necessarily mean that you are free. So you get to decide how you want to spend the time that you're not spending working and doing all that stuff. And if you choose to not want to spend your time talking on the phone with them, that's a choice they're just going to have to accept, honestly. I mean, yeah, it gets... Oftentimes enforcing that first boundary can be the most difficult because it's jarring to the other party because they're so used to the way that you've always been. But you have the autonomy to change whenever you see fit. You know, you don't have to just continue doing something just because it's something that you've always done. But if you want some more support, just hit me up on Discord. If you want some more support after the stream. Yeah. But when it comes to gaslighting, think about the mental focus and struggle and like the intention behind like me showing up for someone, you know, exactly the way that they want me to. I'm doing all the things. I'm speaking their love language. I'm, you know, showing up to their piano recitals. I don't know. I'm doing all these things for the first couple months. And then slowly but surely, I recognize how much this person not relies on me, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that this person is in love with me. And I'm using this as a way to slowly but surely begin to bend them to my will, essentially, because I'm insane. I mean, I don't know. I don't really... I mean, I feel like this could go a lot of different ways. I feel like this could stem from someone having little to no control over their own life, you know, and then they end up in this romantic relationship and they think, oh my goodness, this person is so enamored with me. They love me so much because I'm insane. They love me so much, you know. What do I need to do to make them stay? You know, what can I do to keep them with me forever? And I don't think that it initially begins as what can I do to keep them forever, but more so like, I've never had this before. So now I'm going to tell this person. Anyways, I'm going to tell this person, or I'm going to behave in a way that makes this person continue to rely on me. You know what I mean? Essentially, I'm going to inflict some sort of handicap or some sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm going to make it detrimental to them in a way where they feel powerless without me. They feel as though they absolutely do need me, you know? And how can I do that? I can whisper little things in their ear, you know, once they get to the point where they are, you know, completely trusting and completely enamored in me. Good morning, Miss Fergie Boo. How are you feeling today? Yes, completely dependent. Exactly. And it starts off with like little things, right? Maybe it starts off with, and I could totally see this happening. Maybe it starts off with, hey babe, don't worry about going to work anymore. I'll take care of all the finances. Don't even worry about it. Like, you've been super stressed going to work. Don't even worry about it. Doesn't that sound like it's coming from a genuine place? I'm looking out for you, and I don't want you to have to go to work. I want you to just stay home and just enjoy your time. And I just want you to just be at home. You know, just be at home, enjoy yourself, etc., etc. I'm feeling all right going to my daughter's science fair. Take pictures, Fergie, if you can. I would love to see them. Kelly Crocodile says, my last relationship gaslit me bad. I feel that. And we've definitely had conversations about it. Car died because she didn't want me to drive. Exactly. I remember that. But just think about, like, from an outside perspective, like, that sounds genuine. Like, if I were to tell Kelly Crocodile, like, babe, don't worry about it. You don't have to go to work anymore. And for me, to him, it would be like, I just want you to focus all your time and energy on music. Just pour all your heart and soul and every moment of every day into music. I'll take care of all the bills. Like, don't even worry about it, right? This is how it could potentially begin. And then slowly but surely, right, she didn't want me to work on music either. Slowly but surely, right, or work, I start nitpicking little things, you know? I start making him believe that, you know, we would be able to go on more vacations if you would just get a job. But no, it's fine. I'll just do everything like I've always done, you know, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it, babe. Like I said, like, I just want you to be home. I want you to focus on your passion. Your passion is music, etc., etc. Raylene says, if I heard that, I'd still have alarm bells going off, right? And again, it doesn't sound malicious initially, but there could definitely be some malicious intent behind it, right? Okay, so let's go back to the article and read some more real quick. All right, so this says, where can gaslighting occur? This is probably my favorite. Oh, but next it says, over time, this can cause people to question if their partner is right. Oh, right. The more power and influence the abusive person has, unable to trust themselves, the person may start to rely heavily on their partner to recall memories or make decisions. They may also feel like they cannot leave. And again, they may also feel like they cannot leave really comes into play and hits really heavy when you are financially dependent upon a person. Like, that's huge, because you can't just immediately go from being financially dependent to financially independent. Excuse me. You'd have to have some sort of transition period in which you are, you know, moving into someone's home, going to a shelter. I mean, something. But you can't just flip-flop from one to the other. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it wouldn't be easy to do. So gaslighting can occur in really any type of interaction, but it's especially common, of course, in intimate relationships, child-parent relationships. There's medical gaslighting, right? A medical professional might tell a patient that what they're feeling is in their head. They might tell them that, you know, they're a hypochondriac and they're always coming with concerns and blah, blah, blah. Raylene says, oh, no, not the victimizing and guilt tripping. I know, right? And then, of course, racial gaslighting. Right, for example, a person or institution may say that an activist campaigning for change is irrational or crazy. There's political gaslighting. This occurs when a political group or figure lies to manipulate information or control people. According to the article in the Buffalo Law Review, for example, right, the person or political party may downplay things their administration has done, discredit their opponents, and imply that critics are mentally unstable or use controversy to deflect attention away from their mistakes. So instead of just saying that the opposing party, has different beliefs, they're now labeling them as mentally unstable. What they're saying is controversial, etc., etc. Institutional gaslighting occurs when a company, organization, or institution, such as a hospital, within a company, they may portray whistleblowers who, so this would be like if you work somewhere and you're bringing to attention the fact that, like maybe your manager or someone has been sexually harassing people, touching them without consent, touching them in ways that they don't want to be touched, but everyone else in the organization is calling the people who are reporting irrational or incompetent. They're not crediting, or they're not taking what they're saying and their concerns seriously within the organization. Oopsie. So Callie Crocodile says, she used to say that I'm losing it. I needed to stop tripping, and then I would question myself. Right, that's horrible. She used to ask me why I couldn't get a job when her other black friends had them. She was white. Once she wanted to actually get a job like a year later. Once she wanted you to actually get a job a year later. I learned a lot. Yeah, that's, goodness gracious. That's a lot. It's heavy. So these are some of the signs of gaslighting. As far as the person who is being abused and what they feel. I feel Steve's coming on. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm alive. All right. So potential signs that someone who is experiencing gaslighting could include feeling uncertain of their perceptions, frequently questioning if they're remembering things correctly, believing they are irrational or quote-unquote crazy, feeling incompetent, unconfident, or worthless, constantly apologizing to the abusive person, defending the abusive person's behaviors to others. They didn't really mean it. That's not the way they meant it. They're not that kind of person. Being withdrawn or isolated from others. Gaslighting may contribute to anxiety, depression, and psychological trauma, especially if it's a part of a wider pattern of abuse. So, causes of gaslighting behavior: a consistent need for admiration and attention, a belief that they are better than everyone else or special in some way, and a lack of empathy. This combination of symptoms can lead to unhealthy relationships. However, gaslighting is not always due to a mental health condition. Anyone can engage in this behavior. Gaslighting also operates on a broader scale as a feature of systemic oppression. People in power sometimes use it to damage the credibility of a person or group, which disempowers them. How to respond to gaslighting. I think this is like one of the most important parts of the article. Hold on. And really quickly, Raylene in the chat says, I remember the traumatic event a few years ago when confronting my mom, and she completely denied and gaslit me into thinking it didn't happen. Like, she would repeatedly say how it was not how I remembered it. Kelly Crocodile says, it sounds like her guilt was speaking through it though. Right, repeated mirror reflection. That's really disheartening. Alright, so according to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, ways to respond to gaslighting, because it can absolutely have an impact on your mental health. Keeping a secret diary. I really like this one. And I would encourage anyone who's experiencing this to not just keep a paper copy, but keep like a Google Drive document. Something that's going to stay online or, in the cloud or whatever. And also show all edit history. Something that you don't have to keep, a physical copy of, something that you can edit anywhere, anytime, any device. Talking to someone trustworthy. Hello, I'm a life coach, y'all. Confiding in a friend, family member, or counselor may help someone gain perspective on their situation. And this person can also act as a witness to the events. These two, taking pictures, absolutely, can help someone fact check their memories, and keeping voice memos. This is actually all of these are phenomenal ideas. A device that can record sound can work as a quick way, right, for someone to describe events in their own words. Keeping a voice memo can also be a really great resource, like while you're arguing with that person, to just quickly pop on your phone and start recording. I mean, you could record video, but just for the voice itself. And definitely gathering and keeping evidence is absolutely key. Oh, this one says, this type of evidence can be useful if a person decides to pursue legal action against the abusive person or organization. However, check state laws on recordings before using them in court. And absolutely. And remember, even if you're not going to be using them in court, they still would be good to have for your own personal use. So, yeah. It's vital to make sure that any proof that a person gathers of the abusive behavior remains private, particularly if they share a home or workspace with a perpetrator. A person can try to, regularly erase their search history, storing evidence in a hidden or locked away place, keeping devices locked away, buying a second phone or a cheap voice recorder, and then sending records to a trusted friend, as this allows the person to delete their own copies, right? And then when it comes to safety planning, you want to have a list of safe places to go, an escape route, emergency contact details, ideas for self-care to help a person cope, and then a plan to safely leave the relationship, home, or situation. This is also really, really important as far as a plan goes. When to seek help? Immediately. The answer is immediately. Anyone who believes they are experiencing any kind of abuse should seek support, because over time it may escalate into physical violence, right? Even if the abuser does not become physical, gaslighting and similar behaviors can significantly undermine a person's self-esteem and mental health. Contact a domestic abuse organization for advice and help with creating a safety plan. To address the mental impact of gaslighting, a person might find it helpful to talk confidentially to a therapist who has experience helping people in abusive relationships. This is something that I've also unfortunately experienced, being in an abusive relationship. And then here we have some, support and contact information. So if you know of anybody in immediate danger, of course, if you're in the U.S., call 911. If you need support, there's a domestic violence hotline available 24/7. Phone number is 800-799-7233. You can chat online at thehotline.org, or you can text LOVE IS to 22522. And then we also have the Office on Women's Health and the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Oh, okay, this is just a little bit about the history, etc., etc. Okay. Let me come back to the chat real quick. Raylene says it was weird though because she was so persistent on telling me how it actually was when she usually isn't bothered by anything anyone says. Oh, so in a way it proved to me that it was real. Yeah, evidence is really, really, really useful. Yeah, seek help ASAP. There's no reason to wait. One of the things that I find, and I relate so much to this because like when I was in my previous relationship, he didn't gaslight me at all, but in our relationship, everything was just like bland, like white bread. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And there were a lot of things that I started growing into and learning about myself and the changes that I wanted to make, the way that I wanted to grow in order to be a better person so I could show up better in our relationship. And when I presented those things to him, it was like, nah, we're fine. So that could also be potentially a problem because if you are in a situation and you want to grow and your partner's like, nah, it's fine, why would you remain in that situation? A lot of people do that because they say, oh, well, it's not that bad. Or, oh, we have children together. Oh, we have a home together. Oh, it's so much easier because, we live together and we share the expenses. Yad Hernandez, Doña, hi from Spain. Hola, Yad, how are you? I know a little bit of Spanish, just a little bit, poquito. Y'all be popping in from Spain and saying what's up. I appreciate it. Fine. It's good to hear. I hope that you've eaten today, and I hope you've had a very good day so far. I know that it's probably like evening out there too, or early afternoon on your side of the world. Raylene says, I feel like it's worse sometimes when it's not a relationship that's black and white, bad, especially if you compare it to previous scenarios. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, when you're in that middle ground where things are just okay, I mean, you could definitely be in a situation where someone is abusing you and you feel like things are just okay because you're rationalizing it by saying, well, it could be worse. And typically the could be worse is there has been no physical abuse. But we really have to understand that gaslighting is a form of mental and verbal abuse, and it is still abuse. It doesn't matter that this person hasn't physically put their hands on you and pushed you, hit you, slap you, whatever. Just the fact that they are manipulating you in any type of way, or trying to be in control of, you know, the things that you want to do, the things that you want to say, the people in your life, the way that you show up, whether you work or don't work, that's something that you as a person get to decide. Now, if your partner wants to say, hey babe, I noticed that you're really, really stressed out at work. How can I support you? You know, I'm more than willing and more than able to take on more of the financial burden if it'll help you be less stressed. How can I help you? And then you make the decision, you know what? Our company is in the middle of, being bought out or something, and it's just been really stressful. Maybe if I just take some time off, I'll be able to blah, 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 blah. But not, hey babe, stay home, don't work. No, that's not your decision to make. I get to make the decision whether I want to work or not. If you notice that it's taking a toll on me, then absolutely you can come to me and say, hey, I notice this is happening. How can I support you? Like, how can I help you be less stressed? Perhaps you can, maybe you can offer that person suggestions. Maybe you could change positions. Maybe you could change organizations. Maybe you could change your hours. Like, maybe you'll go from being full-time to part-time or whatever. Maybe you just need like a month off. I don't know. But having that conversation is what an actual partnership and relationship, that's healthy communication. Not, hey babe, don't work. I got it. Because again, then that leaves the other person completely, it doesn't leave them any autonomy to make that decision on their own, and that's not okay. But again, a lot of people end up in these situations and they rationalize it by saying it's not that bad. It could be worse. But you deserve to be in a situation that's phenomenal and wonderful, not just one that's okay. And of course, relationships are always going to have their ups and downs. There are going to be days that are phenomenal. But there should be more than just days. Like, if you notice that you were in a relationship for an entire year and you only have days that are phenomenal and not like weeks and months that are phenomenal, there's a problem. There's something that's going on. And if you and your partner are open and willing to connect with a life coach like myself, or connect with a therapist and find out the ways that, you two can better show up for each other. Maybe you both want to practice improving your communication skills, etc., etc. Perfect. Right. Really it should be overall what you want and phenomenal. Exactly. I feel like I need to do an episode or conversation on just relationships themselves. Because, but when it comes to gaslight, oh my goodness, Fergie Boo is breeding the dragon. It's going down. Let's look at her. Oh no, the marble eyeballs are back. Oh no, Fergie, why? Why, Fergie, why? Why did you do this to my dragon? Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Oh yeah, that's that dragon looked like it's been through some things. What's up with this little dribble? What is that? I don't know. Anyways, it's important. Had to before I headed out. Thank you, Fergie. I appreciate you. It's important that we recognize well, it's important that we're even aware of what healthy communication looks like in any kind of situation or any kind of relationship, right? Because as the article mentioned, um, gaslighting can occur in any kind of relationship, intimate relationships, parent-child relationships. It could happen in healthcare, it can happen in the workplace, it could happen anywhere. So it's important that we understand not only how communication works, but power dynamics, right? Because when it comes to a relationship, like an intimate relationship or a platonic relationship, there should be, well, actually in any relationship, there should be no power struggle, no power dynamic. Even in the workplace, you know what I mean? Just because someone is your supervisor and their job is to supervise you and delegate to you, that does not mean that as a human being they have more power than you. However, that's something that gets pushed around and the lines get blurred all kinds of ways because people deeply feel that a person who gets paid more than them or who is their supervisor is superior to them. And the reality is, unless someone were to tell me otherwise, I would still believe that, forever and ever and ever. Raylene says the authority shouldn't translate to superiority, and I agree wholeheartedly. But again, unless we're having these conversations in institutions, just like a teacher shouldn't speak to their students in a way that is demeaning because they're quote unquote they're not superior. It's your job to teach me. That just, if it was my job to teach you, that wouldn't mean that I could, speak to you in a way that was demeaning or belittle you or etc. That's not okay. It's not okay at all. But this is something culturally, potentially worldwide, not just here in the U.S., that is very accepted. And so, like, it's typical for people to want to. Here's the thing though, like, it's typical for people to want to like kiss up to their boss. It's also typical for women to want to kiss up to men, to get them to like them, to prove that they are worthy of being a wife, to do all of these things and, bend and do all of these dances and blah, blah, blah in order to, quote unquote, find a suitor. From us being very, very young, we are told, you shouldn't do that because boys don't like girls who do that. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff is ingrained in us when we are very young. And so we kind of grow up with this thought in the back of our head, even if it's not at the forefront all the time. It's in the back of our head, like, well, if I do this, what boy is gonna like me, or what man is gonna like me if I ride a motorcycle? I don't know. What boy is gonna like me if I, take up a job in carpentry instead of interior design, or I don't know, whatever. Excuse me, because these cultural, I feel like they're like, I'm trying to think of a way to call them. It's not gatekeeping. It's almost like a standard of some sort that women are supposed to uphold to, in the way that they speak, in the way that they move, in the jobs that they work, in the way that they converse with men. That goes into a whole nother situation. Raylene says, yeah, it's so pushed onto us. Exactly. From the moment that we're very, very young, we're told that, what we wear matters, the way that we dress matters, whether our hair is messy or neat matters. All of this stuff about our outward appearance matters to everyone else around us. The people that we could potentially date, our managers in the workplace. You don't want to go to work unkempt. And it's like, but what does what I'm wearing have to do with the job that I'm performing? You know what I mean? Like, nothing at all. And I understand from a certain perspective that, you know, customers trust people who looks professional or whatever. But then, you know, that goes into question, why is our perception of professional the way that it is? Why is it that if you hop on Google and look up, we can do it right now. You hop on Google right now. I don't have Google. I use DuckDuckGo. Well, actually, this is Google. Professional hair styles for women. Look at this. Most of these women are white. Most of them. And also, all of them are just wearing their hair down. I don't understand how this is a professional hairstyle. There's nothing complicated about any of these hairstyles. What makes them professional? I don't know. But the fact that the majority of these women are white is a problem. For sure. And we're always looking for ways to professional hairstyles for locks. Like, why can't my locks just exist? Why do I have to have the crispiest parts and the freshest weed twist in order for you to consider my dreadlocks professional? Like, why? Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But, yeah, it's always hair. Exactly. It's always the hair. Like, every once in a while, people will talk about professional attire, but it's, eventually it always comes back to hair. And we as black women already have so much stigma and conversation and all of this crap about our hair. Like, oh, if you cut your hair short, then I guess you're trying to be a man. Or, oh, if your hair is long, like, that's not all your hair. That's not your real hair. You bought that hair. That's a wig. That's a weave. That's a whatever. And I'm like, why does it even matter? Why does it even matter? As long as I'm having conversations with my daughter and telling her, hey, your hair is absolutely beautiful. Because I agree, the way that we talk about our hair is important, right? Like, if I'm doing my daughter's hair and I'm like, oh, this shit's nappy. Like, so difficult to comb your hair. It's so difficult to do this with your hair. Then, yeah, she's going to feel some type of way about her hair. But if I don't speak that way about her hair, if I'm not, like, huffing and puffing every time I do her hair, then she's not going to have this perception that her hair is difficult, that her hair is unmanageable. You know what I mean? Sure, it might take a little extra time for me to tangle her hair because she's tender-headed, but who cares? You know, that doesn't mean that she has bad hair. You know, and there's no such thing as good hair and bad hair. Especially, I mean, consider the people who, you know, don't have any hair at all and can't grow hair. And anyways, now I'm just ranting. But to get back to the topic of conversation, gaslighting. If you or anyone you know is experiencing or is potentially experiencing gaslighting, please, 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 I encourage you to not only begin keeping some sort of record of evidence, from voice messages to like a digital or physical diary, to photos and all of those things, but I highly recommend that you reach out to someone like myself, who's a life coach, and can help you see your situation for what it is. You know what I mean? Instead of, because often, what's the phrase? Like, when you're in the forest, you can't see the forest for the trees because you're surrounded by trees. But if you like zoom out and be in a helicopter, then you can see the beauty of the forest and you can see the trees because you zoom out. Raylene says, and then when black hair conversations actually start and people start calling their hair beautiful, those same people are like, okay, so who cares? They only care when it's negative, and then when it's positive, exactly, it's selfishness, right? Exactly. It's true. No one wants to have those positive conversations. I mean, B and I were talking about it yesterday in regards to black women, right? And actually, the reason why I even chose this topic for today was because I was on the Therapy for Black Girls website. If you're if you're a black girl and you're seeking therapy specifically, try the Therapy for Black Girls website. They have a therapist directory. I think it's therapyforblackgirls.com. Let me link it for y'all real quick. But anywho, I'm on their website, and they have a blog article for Megan Thee Stallion. because a couple years ago, Megan Thee Stallion was shot by Tory Lanez, and people did not believe her. People thought that she was lying. Here's the Therapy for Black Girls website. If y'all are interested in finding a therapist, they have a directory. Yeah, she was shot 2 years, and I am so not in the media that much. It probably popped up on my feed, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know, but I had no idea that this even happened. Really says that was so horrible. I can't believe people thought that. I know, right? I mean, Drake made a whole song about it, apparently. Like, what the heck? About her lying about the fact that she was shot. And, I mean, if that doesn't emphasize the issue around people not believing, I mean, that's being gaslit. For someone to tell you to your face that you're lying, that you're making it up, what do you have to gain from telling someone that you were shot? Meanwhile, we have this, right, Drake in general needs to check himself. He really, really does. He really, really does. But all of these situations and all of these hashtags, right? There have been so many hashtags of black men and women, but it seems like primarily more black men that are being shot, murdered, just all of these things. And there's no question in any of them. There's questions from other communities, like the white community often questions and tries to invalidate the things that we experience. But to hear that from your own community and have someone have the audacity to write a song about something that you experienced, that he wasn't even there. He wasn't even physically there, and he had the audacity to write a song about this. Like, can you imagine just how traumatizing that would be for over and over? And Tory Lanez was like just convicted. That I did see. This happened recently, like within the last couple months, and apparently she got shot like 2 years ago. Right, how she must have felt, like, exactly, to over and over be hearing all of these people saying, you're lying, that didn't happen, you're lying, that didn't happen. And then you start questioning yourself, like, wasn't I there? Like, didn't I go to the hospital? Don't I have a cast on my foot? What? Anyways, in another effort to support and encourage y'all to seek mental health, mental support, Megan has a website called Bad Bitches Have Bad Days Too. I think that's how you spell it. Oops, maybe I should have put a .com at the end. Where is the website? Oh, it is a website. Can I? Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. Yeah, only recently. Right, it was finally proven, which is like insane. I can't even. Anyways, here we go. Bad bitches have bad days too. And you know what? We do. We absolutely have bad days too. Here's the Megan Thee Stallion. We have Amazon Music, Tidal, Music, or Apple Music, Apple Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. Here is, I think this is a track that she made called Anxiety. Bounce Back Like Bad Bitches Always Do. So we have therapy platforms. We have Center for Interactive Mental Health Solutions. We have I Prevail. We have the National Alliance on Mental Illness. More mental health resources. We have the National Crisis Text Line. We have the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration National Helpline. Strong Hearts Native Helpline. Mental Health America. The Steve Fund. We have Therapy for Black Girls. We have Therapy for Black Men. We have the LGBTQ Psychotherapists of Color Directory, Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, Black Mental Wellness. I'm putting this on my link tree. We have the Dear Black Women Project. We have the Black Mental Health Alliance. We have the Melanin and Mental Health. And then we have more LGBTQIA+ and other community helplines. We have the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And then we also have the Trans Lifeline. We have the LGBT National Youth Talk Line. We have the Trevor Lifeline. We have the Steve Fund Crisis Text Line, Lifeline, Crisis Text Line, GLBT National Hotline. We have some podcast spotlights. Therapy for Black girls. Ooh, I love this. Shedding your superwoman status. We have the NAMI episode 3, Back to School Anxiety, Therapy for Black Girls podcast session 214, Finding the Right Therapist for You. Mental Health America's in the Open podcast, How Trauma Affects the Brain. Some days I just hate everybody. Find a therapist. I love this. Sign up for updates. Send a text. Bad bitches have bad days too. Visit the Trauma Zine. This is incredible. I'm adding this to my link tree because yes, just all kinds of yes. Right. Oh my God, I've heard of this, but I didn't know it's from a website. Right. And apparently this is a website that she's recently created, specifically from, I don't want to say specifically from what she experienced, but I'm sure it was deeply connected. You know what I mean? So just kudos to Megan, because and I had like a love-hate relationship with the article that was written on the Therapy for Black Girls website, because one of the first things that they do is thank her for never allowing her light to be dimmed. And I understand that, and I definitely want to recognize Megan as the incredible woman that she is. It's just, it's so hard to constantly like be working towards being the bigger person. And again, like I said, I definitely understand like not just talking about all of the things that she went through, but also but also acknowledging her as a person, and acknowledging all of the wonderful things that she has done and continues to do. But it's just, it makes me sad to even hear that that's like a part of the conversation. You know what I mean? The fact that we have to acknowledge. Lizzo was also very active on therapy and supporting Black women. She often mentions dark-skinned women's work and promotes them in random interviews. Oh, you know what? I saw, I think it was like an award ceremony or something, where Lizzo was accepting an award, and she just like goes off and talks about all of these incredible women, these women of color who contributed to the project in some sort of way. And the dopest part was, it goes to all of them, and then it pops up like their Instagram handle. I was like, this is so sick. It was like a Native American woman. There was a bunch of different women that she was shouting out, and I was like, this is super dope. This is really dope, because like, why not? And you know what? Those are the kind of people that I want to work with. Like, I recently filled out a actually it was this morning or last night. I filled out a brand ambassador application for this website, which I'm going to show y'all because they're amazing, called Black and Green. I actually don't know what their website is. I think it's just blackgreen.com. But it's BLKGRN, not Gran. Why can't I spell? There we go. Alright, this too. So, Black and Green. Oh, it's a little bit cut off. Hold on real quick, y'all. Let me edit this. Filters. Nope. Nobody leave. There we go. Alright, Black and Green. So this is an all-natural marketplace by all Black artisans. Literally anything that you want to find, and it's just blkgrn.com. Anything for health, like they have everything. So categories, they have bath and body, they have skincare, they have beauty, they have grocery, they have hair, home, menstrual care, and then mom and baby. And everything is created literally by Black artisans. So if you click on artisans, they show all of, I don't know if this is all of the women or just most of the women, and the name of their brand. Like, not only are they all Black artisans, but they, each of these women, oh, look at Honey Bunny. In addition, the brand itself, like Black and Green, the brand, has very, very high standards for the products in which they will list on their website, right? So, Honey Buddy's adorable. So, our story. Welcome to Black and Green, an all-natural marketplace powered by Black women artisans. Their mission is, 1, to challenge the marketplace to normalize access to non-toxic products targeted to Black women, and 2, to fund Black women entrepreneurs who create non-toxic personal care products. Products marketed to Black women are filled with synthetic and toxic chemicals, causing a profound negative impact on their health. Black women spend $7.5 billion annually on beauty products, which is 80% more on cosmetics and twice as much on skincare than their white counterparts. We educate consumers about the importance of investing their dollars in healthy, sustainable products created by Black women. Over 136 Black artisan brands are featured on Black and Green, and they're all working together for one important reason. Products that are used on people's bodies and brought into their homes should not contain toxic ingredients that threaten their health and wellness. Point blank, period. So, if you are interested, literally, in any of these products, bath, butter, deodorant, bead, oral care, scrub, soap, cleanser, face serum, mask, moisturizer, systems, toner, nails, makeup, multivitamin, protein powder, reusable bags, tea, all of this stuff, hair butter, cream, shampoo, conditioner, oil, books, cleaning, laundry, aromatherapy, wash, wipes, pads, all menstrual care, which I think is just these 3. And well, they have other menstrual products too. And then they have a few products for mom and baby. Right. Raylene said, like, why does my shower gel have poison in it? That's scrope. You can't forget that scrope. That scrope is important. Anyways, I'm getting off on tangents, but yeah, it's true. And on their website too, they also have, let me see if I can find it. They also have, they have a list of like the ingredients that you should look out for. I'm trying to think of where it's at. Oh, our Toxic 20. Here we go. Let's look at it real quick. Excuse me. Okay, Toxic 20. You will never find any of the following ingredients in any products on Black and Green. We never bring in junk, only joy. So, there's stuff on here that I probably cannot pronounce, so I'm not going to try. But there is... Oh, okay. Oh, that's dope. So not only do they tell you what the ingredient is, or like, you know, the name of it, but they also tell you what it is. Why we know it's shady. It's the verbiage for me, Kairu. It's the verbiage for me. Why we know this ingredient is shady. Commonly found in antibacterial overfighting. Is it banned in the UK? I love it. That's such a valid question. Because if it's banned in the UK, look at this. Yes. Yes, but in select products. Excuse me. Yes. So many things are banned in the UK, and the US is like, oh, we'll take it. It's fine. We don't care about humans. It's fine. Oh my god, I love when there's a list of bad ingredients. This website is my love language for skincare. I know, right? So again, if y'all are interested, skincare, any care. Like I said, I filled out a brand ambassador application because I genuinely, like, I actually don't use really anything on my skin at all. But I'll definitely be going and getting some shampoo. Like, I used melanin shampoo by... I forgot this woman's name. She's an incredible woman, though, and I followed her for a long time on Instagram. She created this formula, and it is incredible. You can buy it at Ulta, but the brand is called Melanin. Like, that's the name of the brand. They probably, let me see if they have it on here. They probably do, because, yeah, I'm totally getting, like, beside myself, but that's okay. Category shampoo. Let's see. Ooh, the shampoo bar. I've been wanting to try that too. Instead of a tube, a bar of shampoo. I should get this. $15? That ain't nothing. Let's see. Oh, they don't have her on here. That's okay. What's this? Gentle Herbal Cleanser. Same. I have like 4 products, but I have very sensitive skin, so they have to be perfect. Exactly. And I mean, that just definitely speaks to that's one of the primary reasons why we as black people and black women and black men purchase so many products, because most of the stuff that is created has not been specifically created for black people. It has not. So we have to go and shop around and try this and try that and try this and try that in order to find something that actually works for us and our skin. I remember seeing this photo online of like a really common skin condition like rosacea, and the difference of what it looks like on someone with fair skin versus someone like myself who has melanated skin. And the difference is huge, you know. And if you're not used to being a healthcare practitioner or a medical practitioner who is aware of the difference of how different things look on different skin tones, how are you supposed to help someone? How are you supposed to diagnose someone and support them and tell them like, oh, this is the issue that you're having, if you don't even know what it looks like on my skin? Because it doesn't look the same. Like, I have a lot of red in my skin. Like the base of my skin tone is red, but like black people do not have the same base. Like some people have cooler skin tones. What? School tones? Words? Help me out. Anyways, all of us, all humans have different bases. Like some of us have warmer skin tones, some of us have more neutral skin tones, some of us have cooler skin tones. And that base is what contributes, not the school tones. Really? Are you gaslighting me? Raylene says the amount of years it took me to find a moisturizer that didn't break me out. And I just watched Megan's skincare video and tried to use Cetaphil and it worked. Yo, Cetaphil's the GOAT. The simplest stuff that's like absolutely accessible. Like you can get Cetaphil anywhere. That, between like that and like Aquaphor, those are phenomenal because they're simple, right? Like they're super, super simple and they're amazing. Anyways, y'all, my school tones changed during the winter. Squared Mo, welcome in. Look, you have to follow me if you're going to talk to me like that, okay? But it's true. That's absolutely true. Like the other day, okay, so since the baby's been born, right? Why is it the simplest? Words are out the window, y'all. Words are out the window, Kyrie. They're out the window. Did you poop again? Sir, I'm tired of you pooping. Oh, no, not you grabbing my face. That's what I'm saying, the amount of brands that we went through. And then, how did we get on skin? Words are gone. Like, they're just gone. Squared Mo, where in the world are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your chat. Oh, okay, so before baby was born, I would wear bracelets all the time. And my tan line is finally kind of gone. But you can kind of see a little bit the tan line that I had, right? Minnesota, welcome in, Squared. I am in Southern California. So are you Central or Eastern time zone? But anywho, I remember taking my bracelets off once the baby like started grabbing and stuff. And Grover was like, "Ooh, you light skin." I was like, "What do you mean?" I looked at my wrist and it was like legit a different shade. You can't tell on camera, but I can see it. CST. Okay, for sure. So it's 10 a.m. your time. You could definitely see the difference in my school tone. It's like I go from a cool to I say like maybe a neutral to a warm. You know, like it's more than just a tan. It's actually a difference in like that school tone. There's a difference. Anyways, I don't know how we got here. I love all of you. Raylene, you're my favorite person in the world. Thank you for always being in the chat. Grover, thank you for all your chuckles in the background and for making fun of me. Thank you for watching, everyone, for catching this live stream on Twitch. I'm here every day, 7 or 7:30 Pacific time, 9 or 9:30 Central time, 10 or 10:30 Eastern time, 2 or 2:30 GMT, I think. Raylene says, I just found that I didn't even fit into warm or cool. I just had a yellow undertone. Right, that's super confused. I'm telling you. And also there's this, I don't know how effective it is, gaslighting to school tones. It happens, y'all. I'm telling you. Like, oh, Squared Mo, thank you for the follow. Welcome into this safe space. I appreciate you, love. I'm here, again, every day. Ooh, that's a good yawn. Squared Mo, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And if you want to support me in another way, you can check out the merch that I have in my shop. My pleasure for the wonderful chat. It's always wonderful to have a few people in the chat to contribute to the conversation. It just always ends up being more robust, you know, just more betterer. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here by my side as I pause the microphone to sneeze and blow my nose. I appreciate you all. I'll be back tomorrow. If there is ever anything that y'all would like to discuss, any topics on your heart, on your spirit, let me know. If you have been looking for some support and some guidance, if you're going through a patch in your life and you just don't know where to start, but you know you want to start your healing journey, I am a life coach, and I would love to support you. You can click that link right there in the chat. You can schedule a call. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, just go down in the description. The last link is always going to be the link to schedule a call with me, and I would love to work with you. Like, let's do it. We have to heal together, y'all. We have to. You should not have to go through things alone. You should not have to try and figure out things alone. Like, we are not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to do life alone or to go through this journey alone. So, let's work together. I got your back. All right. I got to get ready for the day. I love you all. Please make sure that you are eating before you feel hungry and staying hydrated. And get some sunlight today if you can. Just a little bit. At least a little bit. Okay? A discussion on grief that isn't death. So, like, from cutting someone off or vice versa would be amazing. I got you, Raylene. I got you. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I got you, boo-boo. All right, my loves. Have a beautiful day. I will see you all tomorrow. And bye for now. Purchase that merch and subscribe to YouTube. Do it.